Hey fourth graders, welcome back to art class. I got a lot of your dot day pictures. Thank you for submitting those. I told you you didn't have to submit them because we were still kind of figuring out how we were going to be uploading art, but some of you went ahead and tried it, so that was awesome. So this project we are going to submit. So underneath the assignment that you got for this one, the link that you clicked to get to this video, you can just click add response, take a picture of your work, and send it to me so that I can see that you did it. Okay. All right. Today, for our very first grade level lesson, we're going to start off with our element of art line. Okay. And if you remember, there's 6 elements of art, and that's the way. These are all the different things that make up art. So we have line, we have shape, space, color, texture, and form. Okay. And so we're going to talk about each one of these for about a month, a couple lessons, and then we move on to the next one. So it kind of guides us through our year. So for our line unit in 4th grade, we've already talked about the line types, and we've talked about expressive lines, and we've talked about directional lines when you were younger. So in 4th grade, we talk about emphasis. Okay, and so our question up here is, how can we show emphasis? So how can we use lines and show emphasis in our work? So we first have to figure out what emphasis means. So emphasis is when you give special importance to something. So if I was wearing an all black outfit, but I had a brightly colored rainbow belt on, the belt would be the area of emphasis because it'd be the only thing I'm wearing that's a different color. Okay, so that'd be putting emphasis on the belt in my outfit. So you can use emphasis in lots of different ways. You could put emphasis on a word in a sentence. Like you could say, I love to go to the park. That would be emphasis on the word park. It's making it stand out. Okay, so in art, we're going to add emphasis to a certain part of our art project, which will make the viewer look at that part of our project. Okay, so when we look at this project right here, this line drawing, what part has emphasis? Where's the area that stands out? Right, most of you are going to say the colored part. And the reason this stands out is kind of like the idea with the belt. There's variety. This one has color and the rest of it doesn't have any color. Okay, and let's see with this one. Where is our area of emphasis? It might be for you the white part, or it could be the opposite. It could be the colored part. You have to decide which part stands out to you. Here's another line drawing created by a student. And this one's kind of the opposite. The area of emphasis, which part did you look at first? I looked at the upside down candy cane, where is it over here? The white area. Because everything else is filled in so detailed. So you can show emphasis in many ways. These 3 projects show it all with color. So emphasis doesn't have to be just color to make something stand out. So emphasis is a variety of anything would make it stand out. So we tried color. Now let's try size. So if I wanted to add emphasis by size, what I would do is I would draw, let's say I made lots of little lines. Oh, that was loud. Where's the emphasis in my drawing down here? I have lots of little lines and then one super big one. That's my area of emphasis. Okay, so that didn't have anything to do with color. Let's try it with line type. So I could do it with like zigzag, 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 zigzag. So my area of emphasis would be where I kind of switch that up. So maybe I'm going to do a dashed line. Dash, 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 dash. Zigzag, zigzag. My area of emphasis is the part that's different. Okay, it's the part that stands out in my picture. So we're going to do it today with color, but there's lots of different ways you can show emphasis. So we're going to do it with a variety of colors. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a line drawing, and then you have to add emphasis to one area with color. Alrighty, so today we are going to be making a continuous line drawing. And so we're not going to do the emphasis part until we get to the coloring. So a continuous line drawing just means we're going to use one continuous line throughout this entire piece of paper. Okay, so this would be a good thing to practice on a whiteboard first. So if you have a whiteboard in here, don't do that. Oh my, hold on, let's see here. Okay, can you still see me? Okay, if you have a whiteboard in your materials, that's a good thing to use for this because you might want to be able to erase and try again or try a couple times. So like I said, a continuous line drawing is using one line the whole time and trying to fill up your paper. So not intersecting lines and not picking up your marker, sticking on the same line and filling up the whole thing. Okay, here we go. Let's see, can you see what I'm doing here? Remember, we're gonna add the emphasis later, so you don't have to. Can you see? I think you can see what I'm doing. I hope I don't spill this again. Okay, here we go. All right, so I'm going to start up here in the corner, and I'm going to try not to intersect or overlap lines, and I'm going to try and fill up the whole paper. Okay, so I'm going to make lines, and it's kind of cool to add variety to my lines by just making all different types of lines. So I'm just trying to fill up my page. Did I pick up my marker and make a new line? No. I'm making one continuous line. Oh, maybe I'll make it, and this is like really different if I do all the things. Now look, if I come up here, I want to be able to still fill in this area, so I don't want to trap myself. I got to go back in here. Oh no, will I be able to get back out of this big triangle I made? Ooh, get back out without overlapping. There we go. So you can pick up your hand if you want, and then just start back at the same spot you were at. I'm going to time lapse this for you so you don't have to watch every second of it. Okay, so my line begins up here, and I went all the way around and ended it down here. I never started with a new line. All right, so that's what a continuous line drawing is. It continues the whole way with just one line. So now, after you make the cool line project, then you want to add emphasis somewhere. So I can choose one area on this that I want to add emphasis to. So if I want to add emphasis, like I like to pick a cool area, like the area that I like the best if I want people to look at that area. Maybe it's this cool spiral over here. So maybe I'd add color in this area. Now this is Crayola on a whiteboard, so. Oh, and you can't even see, man. Maybe this is area I would make green, and then everywhere else on the board maybe I would do in the primary colors, and then the green would be the only area that's wrong, or not wrong but different, not a primary color. Or maybe like the ones that we saw here, everything is black and white except for the spot for color. Okay, so I'm going to do one in front of you. I'll do it in a time-lapse version so that you don't have to watch me do the whole thing over again. But I'll do that while you guys are practicing on a whiteboard or getting started. So you're making a continuous line drawing, and then you're picking an area to add emphasis, or an area where people, your viewer, is going to look at. How can you get them to look at it with just switching up the colors? Okay, here we go. Hey, fourth grade. Okay, so I finished up my emphasis picture, and I showed my emphasis where? Where's the part that stands out to you? All right, if you picked the pink area, then you have got it. So I added emphasis by changing the color up down here and making this part pink and making all of the other parts blue and yellow. And since that's kind of the part that's different, it stands out and adds emphasis. So I hope you had fun making a continuous line drawing. So that was our first step. And then our second step was to make the viewer look in a certain area. So normally we do this in school together, and so it's a little easier for me to explain emphasis to you. But so we're all getting used to this whole virtual thing. So I hope you understood it. If you're a little bit confused on emphasis mixed with a continuous line drawing, I know that could be a little confusing because I threw two new things at you. Please message me through Seesaw. You can add a response to this activity and say, Mrs. Ash, I'm confused, and I can try and walk you through it, or you can email me. Either way would be fine. So if we finish off our lesson by answering our question, how can we show emphasis? So we know in this project we learned that we can show emphasis in a couple different ways, but one way we can do it is by making one part of our project different than the other parts, and that will make the viewer look to that part. All right, I hope you're able to show emphasis in your line drawing. Go ahead and submit those to me, and I will give you feedback on them. All right, see you next week.